Hello friends, welcome back to Norma's Diary, and thank you so much for clicking on yet another video. So welcome to Money Mondays, where I'm going to be posting a lot of money videos on a Monday. So I want to introduce to you guys my budgeting workbook. It's called the Budgeting for Financial Freedom, the BFF workbook. So it is basically a 13-month book, just so if you buy it at the beginning of the year, you don't have to rush in December to get one to start your budgeting in January, because it will have a 13th month in it. But anyways, it is undated, so you don't have to waste any paper. Like here, I'm going to do the April budget with you guys today, but every other month you just write your own month and your own days. It has a goal section here for you guys to fill in your goals and your name here. The workbook belongs to Norma or whoever it is. So here at the beginning has your expense tracker, where you're going to write all your bills, the important bills and your desires, your income, all your sources of income, and how much you're left with when you subtract everything, which I'll be doing with you guys today. And then obviously your calendar, the goals for this month, you're going to put them right here, and to remind yourself why is budgeting important to you. It also has the breakdown for your expenses, how you pay off your expenses. So other people do auto payments or online, payments, savings, debt payments, or using cash envelopes. So I will show you how to use that as well. And if you get paid weekly or bi-weekly, it also has a section where you can do your payments weekly or bi-weekly. So it has week off and the income that you are budgeting for, and then the whole breakdown of that using the expense tracker at the beginning, which I'll obviously show you. And then it has your weekly expenses. So every single week on probably on a Sunday or on a Monday morning, or on a Saturday, like after you spend your money for the week, you come back to this page and you're going to write down every single expense that you spend on week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. And then at the end of the month, it has a bit of a review just to check yourself and see what did you do wrong, what did you do well, what you want to improve in, and things like that. So I don't want to make this introduction too long, but this budget journal and this budget workbook is available on my Etsy store. And there's a notes page at the back if you want to do some notes and some scribbling. There's also a house goal, so if you're trying to save for a house or you're trying to pay off a house, there is a page where you're going to write how much you wanting to save. It's probably $100,000 or 100,000 rands or whatever. There's over 100 lines here, and you just can line yourself, color in every single line using a highlighter once you've reached that goal. So for example, I am trying to reach 100,000 rands or dollars or whatever. So every time I reach $1,000 of savings, I'm going to color in a line, because I said there's over 100. I think there's like 120 color inning spaces, but I'll just say 100 for now, just to be safe. So yes, and then there's also a savings jar. So this could come in any time. So if you're trying to save for anything, for holiday, for a MacBook, for school stationery, for anything, just gonna write your goal here, and you're going to color in the jar with every with every milestone that you reach. So yeah, that is basically it. It also has a debt tracker, where you track your debt if you have debt. Put the description, budgeted amounts that you have paid, the dates that you have paid, and the outstanding balance. At the beginning of the debt tracker journey, you're going to write the debts that you have, when is it due to pay, the amount due, the whole amount, interest rate, and the minimum amount, just so you can keep yourself accountable. And it also has like little things that push you, no matter how long it takes, I'll be debt free. So like affirmations for yourself. I know there are unlimited ways to make money come to me. I thank the universe for all the prosperity that is mine today. And it also has savings tracker and sinking funds tracker, opening balance and closing balance for every single savings that you have. So I'll be showing you guys my whole journey of using this, but if you want us to use it together when I post videos, please be sure to buy it on my Etsy shop. I will link it down below, and we'll just get into this budget video. So today's budget video is basically going to be in rands. I usually do all my budgeting videos in dollars, but because I'm in South Africa right now and I've got quite a few South Africans watching my channel, so I'm going to also incorporate rands just to be, you know, to be able to accommodate every single person. I mean, I can't really please everyone, but I'm going to do the best that I can. So I've got my friend's numbers here. I'm not going to tell you her name because obviously that is not right, but she gets paid on the 25th of the month. So for me, I started the calendar on the 25th of March, not on the 1st of April, just because it's easier to do it that way. I mean, like I said, it's undated, so if it's easier for you to start it on the 1st of April, then you do that. That's all good. There's no rules literally for budgeting. The only thing is to do what works for you with the money that you get. Okay, so I started at the 25th of March. That's payday. There are 4 highlighters right here with me today. So orange will be payday, pink will be monthly payments, yellow will be weekly payments, and blue will be things that are unnecessary, just desires. So I'm going to write it here and go payday, monthly payments, weekly payments, and desires. Desires only come in if you can afford them. Please remember that. Okay, so I've got her list of expenses. So her income is 12 grand, 12,000 rand a month. So she's only got one income source, and that is her job, and that is 12,000 rands. There's more spaces. There's 4 spaces for people who have many streams of income. So she has rent as one of her high priority bills, and power, electricity, and transportation, data or Wi-Fi. She's got debt and food, and I have added savings to her high priorities. Okay, I'm going to touch on the savings one when I've written everything down. And then on the desires, she's got beauty. She does her hair and nails every month, and eating out. And if you've watched my videos before, obviously I've done quite a few budgeting videos. They are the most popular videos on my channel. You know that with beauty and eating out, when push comes to shove, you can live without this. So when it needs more, like if power skyrocketed this month, you can live without doing your nails. Eating out. Okay, so now that I've written her expenses, we are going to come to the calendar, and we're going to write it over here as well. So March 25th, so that is payday. And then on the 26th, she will pay off her debt. And then I've added savings to transfer money into her savings account. And then on the Saturday, she will go grocery shopping. And she pays rent on the 31st. And then power on the 2nd. and then she gets her nails done on that week here, on the weekend. So I'm just going to put it on the 4th. So hair and nails, so it's 200 each, 200 rand each. And then that is it. Now every week she obviously goes to work, she needs money for transportation, and she uses data. So I separate it as weekly. She usually just takes money out whenever she needs to, but I showed her a method to separate it. It makes life so much more easier. So every Sunday I'm going to put data and transportation. Okay, so the only thing missing now is eating out that we haven't put in. So I'm going to make an example. My birthday is coming up on the 8th of April. I'm just going to say I'm having a lunch at Florida Road here in Durban. So she's going to put down Norman's birthday, and she's going to put her budget is to spend 250. Now, because we are friends, she could honestly just say, hey Norma, I don't have that much money, blah blah blah, and I'll be like, okay, that's fine, I'll buy you food and you just buy your own drinks, or the other way around, or whatever it is. So yeah, it's just communicate with people who care about you. If you can't spend too much money on a function that they inviting you on or whatever. So now we're going to highlight it. So the monthly payments are, oh sorry, I'll just highlight payday first, and I'll also add payday on the 25th of April right here. Okay, and monthly payment is debt and savings. Groceries are done once a month. Rent is once a month. Power, hair and nails, that is it. Weekly payment is data, transport, and then a desire is to go and eat out. Now our budget is never this perfect, so this week something could pop up, this week something could pop up, but I'm going to show you how I attack things like that and how I think it will help you if you do it that way as well. But obviously, like I said, you know your income, you know your expenses, so you got to do it the best you can, just as long as you focus on your high priority bills, your debt and your savings first, and then focus on the desires and, you know, whatever other things that people spend their money on. So the amount for rent, it's 5,000 rands. Power is 800 rand. Transportation is 1,120. She spends $52 a day for 5 days. And data, she spends 180 a week, which is 720 a month. And then debt, she pays 1,000 on student loans. And then food, she said she spends around 900, so I just put 1,000. And savings, I also added 1,000 on that one. It's a good start. I mean, it doesn't have to be 1,000, even 50 rands is perfect. So don't think it has to be 1,000. Beauty, we put dates on the 4th, and it's 400 rand on the 4th. And eating out is 500 rand. To budgeting for eating out, you don't have to spend the 500 rand, but just don't go over the 500 rand because it will ruin the whole budget. So due dates, rent is on the 31st, power is on the 2nd, transport is weekly, data is also weekly, Debt is on the 26th or the 25th, on the day of payday. Get it out of the way. Food, we got it on the 28th. And then savings is also on the 26th. So all of this together, I'm just going to use my correct phone right here. So 5,000 plus 800 plus 1,120 plus 720 plus 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000, 10,640 altogether. Now she could live off this. Honestly, she could just live off this and be good. But it's okay to also treat yourself and enjoy your money. Obviously, this comes first. So that will be 900. So total income is 12,000. Total expenses is 10,640 plus 900 is 11,540. So 12,000 minus 11,540 is 460. Now, I know you see 460 and you're thinking, oh wow, I've got extra cash so I can go spending. No, it's not to go spending. We're going to come back to this extra cash at the end, but I will show you the best way to use your money and to seem like you've got a pay rise or something. I will show you. Okay. So now that we've got all of that established and put down, our calendar is set, our expenses are set, we're just going to write down a few goals just to keep us accountable. So our financial goals this month is to save the 1,000. So save, that's her goals by the way, save the 1,000 rands. Not to touch the 1,000 rands, not to touch the savings, and to reduce her power usage. Power usage. And why is budgeting so important to you? She's got, I want to be debt free. And also, I want to buy a car. Okay, so those are her goals. So now we are going to separate how we do these transactions and these payments. So it is April. The budget's for April 2020 and 12,000. And okay. My battery is low, so it might actually finish. Hopefully it doesn't, because I'm just at the beginning. Okay, so here we've got the auto payments, so the online payments or any subscriptions or deductions that happen automatically right here. And then you've got your savings here, you've got your cash expenses here, and you've got your debt right here. So what expenses are auto payments? Are things that you use your your online payments with. So it's obviously rent on the 31st, which is, you budgeted 5,000. And then there is power on the 2nd, and her budget is 800 rand. And then there is data. So now what I'm going to do for her is I'm going to separate the data for the 4 weeks. So I'll go data 1, data 2, data 3, and data 4. That's week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is 180. 180. Okay, and then there is cash expenses. So for her cash expenses, it is her transport, and transport is also weekly. So we're gonna go transport 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that is, she budgeted 280 a week. And then there is obviously food. I put food under cash, and I'll tell you why in a second. And she budgeted 1,000 rands. And then there is beauty, and she budgeted 400. Now the reason why I put food on cash expenses, it's easy to swipe, you could easily put it up here, but this is to make yourself strict when you're at the supermarket, because what happens is you see things that you haven't written down on your list, and you just take them because you know, oh, if it does exceed my budget, I'll just swap it anyways. I know I still have money in my account. But if you have actual just cash, you know that you cannot exceed, and then when you get to the till and it has exceeded with just 50 rands, you're going to have to decide what is it that you don't need, and you have to take it out and sacrifice just so your budget can be on point. Okay, and then her savings is the car savings. So I've written it as car savings, I didn't just put it as savings, just so, because if you have an intention for your money, you know exactly what are you messing up when you touch that 1,000 rands. So she's saving for a car, and she's saving for a car, but if she had to use that 1,000 rand or 200 rand from this 1,000 rand, she knows she has taken away her dream of buying the car that she wants by the end of this year, or whenever the goal is to reach, you know, that dream. So just have an intention for every single goal. So if you want to buy a house, you know, you're taking away a home for your children or yourself. Yeah, and then I also put eating out as a saving. Okay, and then debt, it's student loans. And she has to pay it by the 26th, and she's budgeted to pay 1,000 rand. Awesome. So I'm just going to add all of these up and see if we've got the exact same amount as we budgeted on our expenses. Okay, so 6,520 for water payments plus the cash of 2,520 plus the savings of 1,500 plus the student loans of 1,000 equals to 11,540. Yep, so all good. So minus the 12 grand equals to 460. Now, I'm not going to use this page just because she gets paid once a month. But if you get paid weekly, you're going to come back every single week at the beginning of the week and budget, you know, your income that you get a week. Okay. Sorry guys, it is actually 9,426. Yes, rands. So for the second week, we don't have to pay rent, we don't have to pay power, transport 280, data 180. So this is every Sunday that you do this, that you fill in what did you spend this week, and it opens your eyes on what you are overspending on, and you being careful for the following week not to overspend on. Like for example, if on data you spend 240 this week, you're like, oh my gosh, I just went over my budget, so this week I have to not watch YouTube videos, you know, sacrifice kind of thing, so that I can not go over my budget for the week. Savings, you don't have to put any savings. Debt, nope. Food, no. And let's say for example this week, one of the days you forgot to pack your lunch, or you forgot your lunch at home, so you bought KFC, which was, I'm just gonna say 50 rand. And then I honestly haven't been to KFC in a long time, so I don't know if it costs 50 rand. I'm just gonna put 50 rand. And then you got your nails done this week, so that is 200 rand. So we're gonna add all of this as well. So that is 280 plus 180 plus 50 plus 200, and that is 710. Okay, and then Sunday the third week. Sunday the third week, you're going to fill in what you spent on this week. So you didn't spend any on rent, on power. Transport was 280, data 180, not savings, not debt, no food, eating out. You probably went, yep, you went to Norma's birthday and you spent the 250 that you budgeted, and beauty you didn't spend any, so this is the same expenses, so it's obviously 710. Yeah, that's 250. Yep. So then the last week, you don't have to pay rent and power. So for transport is $280 rands again. Data is 180, and savings. So if you go $500, so if you go $500, 500 rand, sorry, if you go 500 rands that you budgeted for eating out, subtract the 300 rands that you spent, you saved 200 rand from eating out. So you're going to add a plus 200 on your savings here, and then no debt, no food, you probably didn't go out that week, and beauty, nope. So I'm going to calculate all of that. The 280 plus the 180, so you spent 460. Okay, so now you calculate all of this and put it down under total, and then you find out how much you spent in the whole month, and then I'm going to tell you what I do with the remaining amount. Okay, so I've added all of these together, and the total spent this month, and obviously the 1,200 and 1,000 for debt and saving, is 11,506. So I'm gonna go 12 grand minus that equals to 494. This is not extra amount sitting in your account. Okay, so this you can now do what I like to do, which is called sinking funds. I've spoken about this. I have a whole video about sinking funds. So it's basically setting a goal for the unexpected future and also setting a goal for the expected future. So the unexpected future is stuff like medical, car maintenance, emergencies and stuff like that. So I will go, you could start 2 sinking funds and medical sinking funds. You never know when you're going to get the flu, and if you need cough syrup and painkillers, you don't want to use your savings money. You want to use money from your medical funds. So medical, and then at the end of the month you can put 200 rands under your medical. So now you're left with 294, and then you can probably have an emergency fund. I always have an emergency fund. You're probably thinking, what's the difference between a medical and emergency fund? Emergency fund doesn't have to be medical. It can be stuff like the taxis have gone on strike, or the buses have gone on strike, and you need to use an Uber. You don't want to use the money from the transport, because if you use an Uber just on one day out of this week, it's probably half of the 280 already gone to Uber just on one ride back. But if you have an emergency fund that has 294 rands in it, you're going to take money from the emergency fund, and it doesn't mess up with your budget. It's just the funds that are sitting. So it makes life so much easier, and it makes saving money so much handy. Like, for example, whatever pops up in your life, obviously not the big things, but whatever pops up in your life, you have visitors coming over, for like your parents are coming over to visit you, and you want to buy something for them to nibble on or enjoy. It could come up from the emergency fund. I know it's not an emergency, but you don't want to mess with the budget for this month, otherwise you've messed up with your whole budget. So I hope I've covered just a brief of it. I will come back on another video. I don't want to bomb you with everything at once, but this is just like a beginner's guide. If you just got a job and you want to be in control of your money, you don't want your money to control you, you can do this. And at the end of the month, you can write how much you actually paid. So you probably saved on power, so you probably paid 700 on power. Data, you probably didn't spend this much. You probably changed this and get a Wi-Fi, because I think it's cheaper to use Wi-Fi. Transport, you probably caught a ride from your friend who you work with, so you probably saved on that. Food, let's say 966, so you save a little bit of money on that. You probably didn't get your nails done this week, so you take that 200, you put it into your savings, or you put it onto your debt, and you get your debt going. So it's just finding what works for you and excelling in that, or just being consistent with it. After 6 months, come back to me and tell me, how did it go? And at the end of each month, go through this page and see where you're going wrong and see what you're doing well, and keep doing that. Whatever you're going wrong, start removing that. And also the bad habits, like I spoke about on the other video, I will attach it somewhere up here. Just get rid of those bad habits slowly, like smoking, drinking every weekend, shopping online, things like that that are making you broke. They're not a necessity. I mean, honestly, I really hope you enjoyed. Yes. Sorry. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back obviously with another video, how to properly close out your budget. I just didn't want to bomb you. And for South Africans, I will be finding a printing company that will print out these journals so that they can be cheaper, because I understand that the currency difference is quite drastic, and I can't expect you to buy, because it is in dollars, and I do get my stuff printed at the USA, so there is shipping costs. So I'm going to try and find a printing company for South Africa, just so it could be free shipping as well, and it will be affordable. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe. I have a goal to reach 500 subscribers this year, and also like if you enjoyed this video, comment for any other videos if you have any requests, or DM me on Instagram. Thank you guys. Bye.